Advia. Pooja and her brother had gone to spend their holidays in the small town of Kunduz in Afghanistan, where their father worked as an engineer at the Khanabad irrigation project. They had gone to visit the historical place of Bak over the weekend. On their way back from Bak, as they looked out of the car, the children felt that the wild, rocky mountainside was the perfect hiding place for dacoits. Their father, however, laughed at their fears. He assured them that the people of Afghanistan were friendly and hospitable. A little later, their father brought their car to a halt to check its rear wheels. Looking up the road, Pooja saw two men rushing towards their car. The taller of the two was charging towards them, while the other one limped behind awkwardly. Their eyes glittered and their long black coats flapped around them. Pooja, her brother and mother all panicked. The men were dacoits. They shouted to their father to start the car. Pooja's brother Sudhir banged the door shut and wound up the window glass. Pooja pressed herself back into the seat, paralyzed with fear. She stared at the advancing men as the taller of the two reached the bonnet and his left hand touched her mother's window. Their father squeezed himself behind the steering wheel, shouting at them to lock the doors. The voices seemed to reach Pooja from a distance. She turned the handle in the wrong direction and the window glass on her side moved down instead of upwards. The man thrust his hands in and tried to push the glass down. Pooja's mother inched the glass painfully upwards and the man's fingers were caught against the frame. He hammered on the door with his stick and rattled the door of the car. The other man, trying to hit at the window pane on Pooja's side, grabbed her arm. "Advia! Advia! Advia!" he roared. The car started and the dacoit was jerked forward. He hung onto the window as the car gathered speed. Eventually, he had to let go as the car sped along the unmetalled road, leaving behind a cloud of dust. Sudhir was delighted that they had been able to shake off the dacoits. But Pooja felt miserable and could not get rid of the voice crying Advia running in her mind. After they had dinner, she suggested that they look up the meaning of the word in the dictionary. It took her father almost a minute to find the meaning. His face was pale and his eyes looked troubled as he said in a flat voice, "Advia means medicine." Pooja stared at her brother and began to cry.